School City is a web-based platform where students take assessments, review scores, and access teacher-assigned resources for enrichment and intervention. This video explains how to locate an assessment and review the scores. First, log into the student portal. If this is the first time logging in, check the instructions provided by the teacher. It should include an access point. This will either be an app, a website, or School City URL. The instructions should also include login credentials like a username and password, or a single sign-on equivalent. When first logged in, School City presents the home page. The home page displays three parts: an account header, navigation bar, and customizable launchpad. The account header confirms the student's name, shows the school, and provides access to the logout function. After logging in, take a moment and make sure the right name shows here. The navigation bar contains links to other pages of interest. The activated page will be highlighted in orange. The Customizable Dashboard contains flip cards. These cards show the most relevant or recent information and are abbreviated forms of the links above. Don't worry if one or more of these flip cards are not present or appear in a different color. Flip cards may be added or removed via the gear icon. Simply pick the cards to show on the screen. When an assessment gets assigned, log in and locate the assessment assigned by the teacher. To locate the assessment, select the Take Assessments flip card and review the 4 most recently activated assessments. If the assessment is listed, select the assessment name to begin the assessment. If the name of the assessment is not listed on the flip card, select More within the flip card or select Assessments in the header to be taken to a list of all the assessments currently assigned to complete. Locate the assessment and select the corresponding Start button. If the assessment still can't be found, contact the teacher. Some teachers may require a 4-digit PIN to start the test, but others may not. If prompted, enter the PIN provided by the teacher to continue. This is an example of an assessment. The assessment name is at the top, so make sure it's the correct one. Questions are numbered in the header. Sometimes questions are grouped together, like in this example where questions are linked to one reading passage. In the event that one or more questions are not displayed on the screen, use the scroll feature to scan up or down. If the questions or answers are hard to read, use Ctrl+ to zoom in and Ctrl- to zoom out. If the machine being used is a Mac, use Command+ or Command-. Depending on preferences, all of the questions can be displayed, or just the questions that still need an answer. To navigate to the previous or next questions, use the P for previous and N for next buttons. Or jump to a specific question by selecting the question number. Various test-taking tools may be available, depending on the test. Don't worry if some of these do not appear while taking a test. For example, this series of icons, similar to that of a video player, become available if a teacher enables the Text-to-Speech tool. When the play button is selected, either a passage or a question will be read aloud. Select an area of the question or passage to activate text-to-speech for just that section. The audio settings for the narrator's voice can be found in the header, along with several other assessment tools. The Toolbox contains more digital test-taking tools enabled by the teacher. These may vary from assessment to assessment and could contain tools like calculators and/or dictionaries. Some visual options that may be enabled by a teacher include the color contrast feature, which enables alternative color schemes, the zoom feature, which grows or shrinks the size of the text, and the full screen feature. If unsure about any questions, use the flag to mark a question to know that it needs a second look. If there's a hard question that has distracting answers that aren't right, use the answer eliminator to place a red X on the answer choices that definitely aren't right so that they aren't distracting anymore. Just be sure to turn the answer eliminator off when selecting the correct answer. When finished with the assessment, complete a few quick steps. On the final question of the assessment, the Next button will turn into the Done button. Select the Done button. The review summary appears, which shows all the answers that were picked. Flagged questions are also shown along with any notes that were taken. If a question has a flag that needs to be reviewed, select the question from the table to give that question another try. If the assessment is ready to be turned in, the Submit button must be selected for the assessment to be scored. A submission alert will only appear if some of the questions are still missing answers. This page provides an opportunity to return to the assessment or continue with submitting the assessment for scoring. Upon successful submission of an assessment, teachers may have enabled some immediate feedback in the form of a thermometer. If the teacher has enabled reports or reviews of assessment performance, students can see how they did in the Review Scores flip card. It shows the results of the completed assessment. Teachers have the option to display scores after a student submits the assessment. Sometimes, a big button saying PRA is located here. A PRA is a personalized review assignment, assigned by the teacher based on the student's individual performance on the assessment. It helps students with areas they're struggling with or challenge them with other material. If present, select the PRA option to complete some after-assessment activities. Otherwise, just log out of the School City platform. To see scores from other assessments, select the Scores module. This can be selected from the Review Scores flip card, or from the Review Scores link at the top of the screen. If there's ever any trouble with taking an assessment, such as closing the assessment window, timing out of a test, or not having a valid PIN code, contact the teacher.